Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
You had sent me back, which I appreciate it. I'm actually heading there now, so I'll be there in about 20 minutes, half an hour. And I don't know if there's any tips you can give me. I'm just a property owner for a small commercial property. And, I've tried replacing like the two small amperage fuses on the board, and the switch, touchpad switches, they seem to be working. They click through. You can hear them kind of click in the unit. Is there any, kind of reset or anything that I should be looking for, or?
Well, what you should do is call someone who has experience with these, because if I was going to troubleshoot that, it would involve a multimeter. I would check for power. I would check ohms. I would check continuity.
Right.
And it's not unusual for a controller. I'm assuming we're talking about a Falcon 8200 series low-energy automatic door operator.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah, there's not a lot replaceable on those. There's not a lot of field troubleshooting that's done because, and I say that because I've called the manufacturer and they said, yep, we don't do it, order a whole new motor. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's, I'm just not familiar with these enough, and we actually just purchased it, and my electrician, who's really more of like a residential type electrician, helped me install it. And, we put it right up, installed. It's been operating for a year and a half, and he said he could come by to look at it for me. He hasn't made it yet, but he's not that familiar with troubleshooting anything that's electronic controls like this,
Yeah. Has there been any lightning strikes lately? That'll sure kill the controller.
Yeah, I don't think so. But no, it's the building's probably about 20 minutes away from where I live, so I'm trying to think. I haven't had any lightning around my house recently, but if, how would I find somebody? What type of, I actually have like a glass guy that has done commercial doors for me, but he even said he doesn't install these. That's why we did it ourselves. But
a locksmith is
a locksmith. Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't even think to go to a locksmith. Okay. All right. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. How are you actuating it?
It's just, the touchpad.
Wall actuator or push button?
Yeah, there's one post mounted outside the door, and then inside it's wall mounted, and, and, I'm assuming those are good just because I can hear them clicking when, I touch them and I can hear them clicking in the unit.
Well, yeah, you said, of course, the word assume.
Right.
So, is it hardwired or wireless?
No, it's hardwired. The
okay.
Push pads are hardwired. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You can obviously check for continuity through those. So that's easy to make sure that there's no problem with the wires.
Right.
And then at that point, so you hit an actuator, and it just simply does not open.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. It's not even trying, or it doesn't seem like the motor's even kicking in,
So the most logical thing is that you have to check for power to it. And I'm sure there's power to it, but what you've said can be explained by an absence of power. So your multimeter, when you put that on the proper terminals, have somebody hit the wall actuator. And this might be push and go too. I don't know if it is. So you could just push the door open possibly and check that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think there's a switch in there where you switch it on to be push and go, and it's not set up that way right now.
Yeah.
But that might tell me if it was like a push button, if it did operate on the push and go setting.
Well, at least you'll have an idea if it works.
Right.
But I
There's
would,
also
yeah,
there's a red light on the board that is lit up. The red light is lit up, so that shows me there is power to the controls at least.
is that what that indicates? I know that red does or can indicate that there's the presence of power, like you see that in power supplies.
Right.
Check. Features. I'm just scrolling through here since you're traveling. I'm going through here to see if I can pick off something specific to look at. There's not even troubleshooting in the manual.
Yeah, I was surprised. I looked there too, and just didn't see anything. And
push and go. Yeah, there is a push and go feature on it. So you've got to start with, if this call went into Falcon, the first thing they're going to ask is, do you have your multimeter? So you've got to check for power. If you've got power, they're probably going to just say you need a new controller. That's probably what they're going to say.
And that's the board, or it's the whole everything?
No, it's just the part where all the electrical stuff goes to. You've got a transformer, you've got a controller, you've got the motor. It would be the brain box inside of it, or what they call the control box. From who did you buy this? The question really is, do you have the paperwork? Because I don't know what the warranty is on this.
Right.
It may be a year, it may be longer, so you might have that as an angle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good point. I had just ordered it online, and a year and a half ago, I'd have to really go digging for that paperwork. But that's a good point. In my mind, I just assumed it's a 1-year warranty, but maybe it is possibly longer for electronics or something. I don't know.
Well, you're right. It's probably 1 year, but you don't know until you look at it.
Right.
And, Falcon will have different warranty lengths depending on what the product line is. So you might want to, at least know what it is before you spend a lot of money for a controller. But multimeter, check for power. Your AC voltage guy, he will know how to check for power. Right. So at least he can give that to you. Or go to Home Depot and buy a $30 multimeter, assuming they have.
Yeah, no, I actually have a multimeter. I've never used it other than in an automotive type application looking for 12 volts or something.
No, that's perfect because this is all low voltage and cars are low voltage.
Right.
All your training applies. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I just don't know specifically like what to test on that board or what, points to, put the meter to, so to speak.
Well,
you would. I thought.
Yeah, so, that's pretty easy. You're going to have two terminals where your power is coming in, the 120, and be mindful, you're dealing with line voltage. Okay, so, and then you're going to have terminals that are the low voltage, the 24 volt coming out, and you can put either probe on either terminal. It won't matter. You'll either, if there's power, you'll get a negative value or a positive value. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the same value.
It'll show the voltage.
Yeah, so that's, and that's where you've got to start. And there's going to certainly be, I would then check for continuity or possibly voltage on the terminal board that's there. So you're going to need somebody that's pushing the actuator. I would check for continuity on the wires coming out off the wall actuators to make sure there's not a short or an open. I would check for power on the external, on the power supply incoming and outgoing. And then I would look for, I would be probing on the terminal board as well to see if the relay there is working. Because once you hit the actuator, it should power up that relay and make things move. Now, I am not an expert on troubleshooting this. But if I were to have to, that's exactly what I would do. And if I came up empty-handed, I would then call Falcon and see if they could do it better, which if anyone can, they will. And then just go with what they said, which is either you discover the problem or they tell you to buy a controller.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's all good info. So it's good to hear somebody else's ideas about it, though. So I appreciate it, and good luck to you. If we need some kind of just a small part, I don't know, do you stock any of that stuff, or is it just go to Falcon for that?
Oh, no, they don't sell direct. You'd come to distribution like us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. So thank you, Rich. I appreciate your time.
Let me know how it turns out, please, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.